and welcome to my channel. I am Mel, if that wasn't obvious by the channel's name, and I am a high school teacher. I make videos about geography content and other school related topics. So a lot of us have been working from home for a really long time now. And so this video is a list of 8 of my favorite productivity tips to help students, or anyone really, work successfully and efficiently at home. Some schools might be on a rotating system where kids go in for one day and then stay at home the next day, or they go in for 1 week and then learn from home the next week. Some kids have moved to online learning completely. So whatever your situation is, I hope that you find this video helpful and practical so that you can really implement some of these tips in your daily life while you're working at home. Alright, so my first tip is to set up everything the night before. This means that when you wake up in the morning, you can just sit down and get started. No excuses. So that means that you need to have your laptop or tablet charged and ready to go, or you need to be in a place where there is a plug point available. You need to have all your pens and highlighters and books at the ready so that you limit the number of distractions that are there, and it just makes it easier to start off your day. The second tip is to set up in a quiet place with very few distractions, and this can be hard, but the main thing is that you need to be able to maintain your focus. So I set up in our dining room, or at our dining room table, and this is because there is a plug point there, so I don't have to worry about my laptop going flat. There are very few distractions. I'm sitting upright. I have enough space across the whole table to spread out all my books and files and everything that I need. So it is a really good place for me to maintain my focus for the amount of time that I need. I am human, so obviously I have worked in my bed or on the couch in the past, and sometimes it can work for a little while, but if I start working in bed, chances are I'm not going to work for as long. I'm going to get distracted much more easily. I'm going to start getting comfortable. I'm going to lie down. I'm going to get distracted by a cute kitty cat. I'm going to be more likely to pick up my phone and scroll through Instagram. So there are just a lot more distractions in a place like that for me. So find a place for you that has very, very few distractions. Tip number 3 is to listen to the right music. A lot of people can't listen to music and work or study at the same time, and that's fine. You really don't have to. In fact, I encourage you not to. But I do understand that there are situations where listening to music works, and it can actually help you be more productive. Now, with this topic around music and studying, classical music is often recommended. And that's great if that works for you, but personally, I really struggle to listen to classical music while I am working. So the idea behind classical music is that there are no lyrics, and that is good. That's great. You can't have lyrics that are distracting you while you are working. So the type of music that actually works for me is called lo-fi. You can just type lo-fi music or lo-fi hip-hop playlist into your YouTube search bar, and there's usually a live stream playing. And I just find that if you listen to this, or if I listen to this, I get a lot more work done, and I remain focused for a lot longer. Number 4 is an obvious one, but something that I think we get trapped in quite often, and that is don't let your phone distract you. If you know that you are easily distracted by your phone, then you need to take it and put it in another room, maybe just put it in another drawer so it's out of sight and out of mind and out of earshot, and that way you can really focus and not become distracted. Another option that I've recently started using is something called the Forest app. So this app allows you to set out a certain period of time that you would want to work for, and if you leave this app while your timer is still going, then it means that you failed essentially. So the whole premise behind this is that you are trying to build a forest or grow a forest. And if you want to study for 30 minutes and you achieve that, then you have successfully planted a tree. But if you set your timer for 30 minutes and after 10 minutes you want to leave and go through Instagram, then your tree is going to die. So it's just a psychological battle, and it's just a way of encouraging you to just push through for that amount of time that you allocated yourself. Alright, the next tip, what are we on now? Number 5 is to stay hydrated. The easiest way to do this is to have a big bottle of water in your workspace. You can spice it up if you want to by adding different fruits, just to change the flavor of your water. Something that I like to do is to make a kind of homemade iced tea. So I will take some Rooibos tea bags and pour in some water, maybe add a little bit of honey or lemon juice, and I'll sip on this throughout the day. Now this is a good alternative because it tastes really nice, but there is no caffeine and no sugar, so you're not going to get this caffeine or sugar overdose. Tip number 6 is to set up a morning routine. So it doesn't have to be extravagant, just something simple where you let your body know that it is now time to work. So this could be something really simple like just having a shower and getting dressed or something like that. So what works really well for me is to actually put on clothes that I could leave the house in, or that I could leave the house wearing and I would feel comfortable in. Another thing that works for me is to just brush my hair or make it neat. So essentially I'm getting ready, and it doesn't have to be to the extent that you usually would, but just letting your brain and body know that you are getting ready and you are going to sit down and work. Now the next one, number 7, is something very similar to this, and it is setting up a routine. And it is setting up a routine to let your body know that it is time to stop working. So at the end of your work day, again, you need to tell your brain that you are done working for the day and it's now chill time. If you're like me, you probably won't have a problem with this. It's quite easy to turn off, stop working and just go and chill. But some people really do struggle with shutting down and setting work aside for the day. So if you're one of those people, then you need to do something that's going to separate your work and play. So again, something simple, maybe go have a bath, put on your pajamas, anything that is going to tell your brain that your work day is done. And number 8, which is our last one for this video, is to reward yourself. This is one of my favorite tips because it works really, really well. Humans love rewards, they love treats, they love recognition, they love acknowledgement. And so if you do that with yourself, you are going to encourage yourself to actually get through the work. So it depends on how much work you've done for the day, the amount of work, the time you've spent, and that's going to determine what type of reward you can give yourself. So for example, maybe an hour of studying deserves your favorite chocolate and a 10-minute scroll through Instagram. Or maybe if you get through an entire chapter of work for the day, you can sit down and watch an episode of your favorite show on Netflix. You do need some self-control, however, with this tip, because rewarding yourself for 10 minutes of work by watching 3 hours of Netflix is not sustainable and it's not productive, and you're not going to actually get through the work that you need to get through. It's also going to be so much harder to start working again once you have relaxed for such a long period of time. So just be careful with this, but it can be very, very effective if you do it properly. So those were my 8 productivity tips. I hope that you found them useful and helpful, and that you can find some to really implement in your daily lives as you work from home. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It's the red button down there, and share this video with anyone that you think would find it helpful. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye!